Alright. Hi. So, at the end of the financial year, the outstanding amount shown in accounts receivables does not represent a true and fair figure. There is a possibility that a few percent will become bad debt and will, in fact, never settle their debts. Therefore, an allowance for doubtful debts is needed to show the true and fair outstanding balance of receivables.
When the businesses good or credit will have to take the risk where some of the debts will never be collected. Or we also can see um, the credit customer does not pay their debts. First, it may due to the financial constraints of the customer. And two is maybe due to the irresponsibility of the customer towards their obligations. These unrecovered debts are also known as bad debts. If we want to record bad debts in our journal entry, we must know that we treat the bad debt as expenses, and we also consider it as a loss to the business as it reduces the net income. Hence, in our journal entry, we debit allowance for the doubtful debts and credit the account receivable. The account receivable is credited because the debtors or the debt credit customer are unable to pay their debts. At the end of the financial year, the account receivable is shown in the statement of financial position after the bad debt is deducted from the balance of the receivable. That's all from me.
Hello everybody, now I want to talk about the bad debt recovered. So, debts which previously written off and finally get paid by the debtor. So, that is the bad debt recovered. Okay, when the debtor paid the amount that was written off as a bad debt, the following journal entries recorded, we should and okay, just follow the formula and understand it. The allowance for doubtful debt is credited because it is revenue, and the account receivable was debited is to reinstate the debtor's debt. Okay, that's it.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adam Reza, also known as Adam Krang. So today we're going to talk about life.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. So today we're going to talk about allowance for doubtful debt. Out of all the receivables, there may be some of the debtors that can't pay their debts. So as an accountant or businessman, we must create a doubtful debt account, which is the amount of money that have the possibilities of being unpaid or uncollectible in the accounting period or in the future. We must make an estimation, and that estimation is called allowance for doubtful debts. By providing allowance for doubtful debts, we will fulfill one of the accounting concept, which is concept of prudence. To avoid, I would like to remind you to avoid, to avoid overstating assets. There are many ways to calculate allowance for doubtful debt, and one of the method is aging method. So what is aging method? Aging method is basically we have to review the past account receivables and make a schedule that will help the business to know when does the debtors will likely to pay.
So the next one is quota entry. Quota entry is an entry which is recorded to reverse or offset an entry on the other side of an account. For example, sometimes the same person is a debitor as well as the creditor of a business. The amount that she or he owes can be cancelled by account receivable and account payable by crediting account receivable and debiting account payable.
In the fifth, we have dishonored check. Dishonored check is a check that is deposited but rejected by the bank due to certain reasons such as insufficient fund or no authorized signature on the check. And last but not least, we have promissory note. Promissory note is a note or a document issued by the receivables when they promise to pay the amount due by a stated date.
The chapter discusses on the treatment of debtor who have become bad debt and debtor who have been written off as bad debt in the previous period but have decided to pay in the amount owing in the current period. Also, debtor who are likely not able to pay in the next fiscal period are estimated as bad debt but is recorded as doubtful debt because the account is not yet uncollectible. This provision that is made in the book is to estimate the amount owing by the debtor that will become uncollectible in the next fiscal period and is term of allowance for doubtful debt.